children here in your child care?
Which child care name is a lot of
Minnesota Child Care right here. It's from the state of Minnesota's website. We're just wondering where the children are.
Where the children are?
Yeah, where are the children? It says you have 102 children here, and you got $2.66 million this year in funding, and $2.5 million last year. We're just wondering where the kids are.
And who are you?
My name's Nick Shirley.
Nick Shirley.
And where are you? Which department? That is harassment.
Oh, we are from ourselves.
Yeah.
Hello, we'd like to ask where the money's going. Look at that. Shut us down. Where are the children at? No children inside of this daycare center. And look at this daycare center right here. No children inside of this daycare center. But between those buildings, over $2.6 million.
This is easily, ladies and gentlemen, the biggest holiday story of the entire season. And that was just a small taste of the $9 billion of fraud being committed by the Somali illegal migrant community under the, I should say, unwatchful eyes of Tampon Tim Walz, probably the worst governor next to my governor of my beautiful golden state that he's decaying, Gavin Greasy Haircut that passes for a man, Newscomb. This was all exposed by a YouTuber, an independent journalist, the new media, much like the person that you're watching right now. None of the networks, not a single, not a one, covered this. Gee, I wonder why. I'm going to share with you more clips of Nick Shirley's amazing expose. But first, get a load of this. President Trump, who's been dropping bombshell after bombshell over the last 48, 72 hours, he did it again. And this time, it's just coming all full circle, smack dab in the faces of those anti-American, weak, clueless Democrats who were too busy playing checkers while the maestro, our President Trump, is playing chess. Check this out. He just dropped this post announcement recently saying now 1 million more pages on Epstein are found. DOJ is being forced to spend all of its time on this Democrat-inspired hoax. When do they say no more and work on election fraud? The Dems are the ones who worked with Epstein, not the Republicans. Release all of their names, embarrass them, and get back to helping our country. The radical left doesn't want people talking about Trump and Republican success. Only a long ago dead Jeffrey Epstein. Just another witch hunt. Before you even exhibit a shadow of a molecule of doubt, I want you to ask yourself this one question. By the way, I've verified everything that's come out by these ridiculous hypocrites who hate our country has all backfired. And again, it all culminates into the one absolute apex capital F fact that if they had something on Trump over 3 contentious elections, when they had power over the judiciary, legislative branch, and the executive branch, you don't think they would have exposed it? This has become really the Clinton files because Bill Clinton is in there more than anybody. Bill Gates, Larry Summers, Woody Allen, a lot of leftists. And with this 1 million pages more, who else do you think is going to come out? You think a confident man who's completely guiltless would post something like this and make this a stand against Democrats like Trump is? No, and they would have used it anyway. Also, more huge wins for Trump. Gavin Greasy Haircut that passes for a man, Newscomb, concedes defeat to President Trump, withdrawing his lawsuit against Trump after Trump pulls $4 billion in California high-speed rail funding. This was the worst abysmal failure in a lifelong career of abysmal failures for Newscomb. I mean, Trump would have had this thing. It cost taxpayers billions and billions of dollars over 12, 15 years of promises, and there's nothing to show for it. Trump would have had this built and operational in less than 8 months, and it wouldn't have cost you or me a cent. I mean, even the state auditor, this is huge. California just getting roasted. This is a nonpartisan state auditor in a fresh 92-page bombshell report slapped Newsom and 8 agencies on the high-risk watch list for epic fraud, waste, and management. Even Elon Musk chiming in and saying that the fraud in California and Minnesota is just the beginning. The tally, it could slam taxpayers up to $76.5 billion. The food stamp program alone, where high sky improper payments could trigger federal penalties costing an extra $2.5 billion, if not fixed. Then there's the Department of Finance dishing out COVID relief, where critics say fraudsters swiped a whopping $32 billion. Don't forget the infrastructure nightmares, crumbling dams, endless high-speed rail black hole that's already gobbled up $18 billion with not zero tracks laid, homeless spending, a staggering $24 billion vanished without a trace. And get this, here's the coup de grace. Cell users forked over surcharges for years to upgrade the 911 system, only for the state to blow, are you ready for this? $650 million and scrap it because the tech flopped. Right next to Silicon Valley, the tech hub of the entire world, no less. You can't make this stuff up. The joke that is Gavin Newsom, it writes itself. Representative Kevin Kiley is calling it straight, saying California has become the, quote, fraud capital of America under Newsom, making Minnesota's messes look like peanuts. With the debt ballooning and more dirt likely to surface, everybody's asking for accountability, and it looks like it might happen. You want to run for President, Newsom? You want to make America California? Go right ahead, because J.D. Vance will be the 48th president of the United States. Bookmark this, folks. Okay, I've got some more clips from the Minnesota fraud that is just absolutely mind-bending. Nick Shirley, independent media, citizen journalist, just like me and so many others who've taken upon ourselves because nobody else, there was a time when real journalists actually did this and won Pulitzers. Now they just hang out behind their laptop and spew garbage and basically take orders from their overlords of the DNC and pretty much spread propaganda. Check out this clip right here of Nick Shirley, where a Somali starts yelling at him at this daycare center where the windows are blocked out. And the Somalis say they, quote, don't know where the kids are. And they each get millions of dollars. And Nick is just trying to say, hey, I want to check my kid into childcare, surreptitiously, obviously, covertly. Check this out. This is huge.
I knocked on the door, and to my surprise, somebody actually answered the door. Hello? Can we speak? Yeah. I would like to check a child in the daycare. Why? Can I speak to a manager? Where can I get paperwork to file for my son? I wanted to put my son Joey in daycare. And after a few questions, the lady went silent. Looks like little Joey Shirley ain't going to daycare here. And now where are we going?
Now we're going to Sweet Angel Childcare.
We're in the middle of a strip mall here inside of this neighborhood.
In fiscal year 2025, this facility, which has its license for 74 kids, was paid $1.26 million in tax money. And there are no kids, and all the facilities are the same way, all of them.
Let's see if anyone opens.
Yeah, let's see.
Once again, I try to find a spot for my son Joey, and they would not open the door. I want to put my son Joey in daycare. Cuz I need a spot to put my son Joey.
Yes.
Is this your daycare center?
No, I work there. What's happened?
I just want to put a child in daycare, but all the daycare centers seem to be closed. No one's opening the doors.
You work here?
I was, yeah. What's happened?
Where are the kids?
Yeah?
It says it's licensed for 74 children. Right here, state of Minnesota. Where are the kids? They got paid $1.26 million in fiscal year 2025. It says they have a capacity for 74 children.
When?
Where are the kids? Right here. State of Minnesota website. You work here and you don't know?
I don't know. I was there before. I don't know what's going on.
Were there any kids when you worked here?
He's there. Kids there. What's
How many?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah.
You worked here. Okay, well then you're not of any help.
Can I put my son in a daycare here?
No, I don't know.
Can I speak to someone?
No, I don't know.
No? Yeah, I would like to see if I can put my son Joey here.
Who's your son, Joey?
My son Joey. Can I check out daycare center?
No! You're a liar. I'm the owner.
This video needs to be shared. You need to tap the thumbs up. We need to expose this egregious criminal fraud that is being inflicted upon the American taxpayer, specifically in Minnesota. It is abhorrent. Check out this clip right here. God bless Nick Shirley, where these shady Somali healthcare, you think that's bad. This is a whole floor of healthcare companies. And when Nick Shirley tries to go and check out the rates, they actually called the cops. And here's the crazy part. The cops sided with the fraudsters. Watch.
A list of all of the healthcare companies. Loads of them right here. We want healthcare.
No, it's okay.
Yes, we'd like to speak about getting healthcare here.
No.
Why can't I get healthcare here?
No, wait. Just.
Warning, you are under video surveillance. No trespassing, security armed. This is the strangest place I've ever been to get healthcare. Just a bunch of different places. Healthcare here, healthcare right here. Another healthcare company right here. There are 3 healthcare companies inside of this building right here in this room of 7C. Now we have another Helping Hands, Home Care LLC, another healthcare company. Present Help right here. We're looking for the best rates of healthcare here inside this building because we have so many options. Who can we talk about getting the best healthcare?
I don't know.
No?
Sorry.
All right. We will not get any healthcare here. David, this is one of the stranger places I've ever been. Literally, healthcare every door you go to, yet nobody will give you a rate. How much money do you think's been funneled through this building?
Every year, I would say 50 to 60 million at least.
And finally, we were accepted into one of the daycare centers and they actually took down information to give us a rate. However, when we left, we were then met with the police.
We received a complaint that, gentlemen mentioning your description, we're in this building harassing the individuals who stay here.
Oh, we're checking out the rate.
If you guys are all good, we're gonna step outside and we can continue this conversation.
All right, let's leave. So, all right, we're getting escorted out right now. The police have arrived. We were checking out the rates, seeing what was happening inside this building. No one would really speak with us. We did go inside the one daycare center, and she actually did give us rates for childcare. Much respect to that lady. What's the problem, officer?
Well, so again, we've been getting reports from multiple individuals that you guys were harassing individuals who work here. At the end of the day, this is private property, and it's one that people are allowed to ask you to leave, and it's also one the Minneapolis Police Department is allowed to enforce trespassing ordinance at this address.
Yeah.
So
As we got escorted out of this building, the Somalis filmed us as we left, and we headed over to the next building that had 22 of the same home health care providers operating from inside of the building.
Right.
So I did a little bit of digging here, and all of these fake daycare centers, first of all, I've never heard of a business saying, no, don't come in here. We don't want your business. Don't ask questions. No, I don't know. I used to work here. I'm the manager. What are you doing here? I've never, ever, I've been running businesses for 30 years. I've never, ever called the police when somebody tried to patronize my services or my goods. This is insane. This is obvious, very blatant criminal activity and fraud. They don't want anybody asking questions. They don't want anybody near anywhere. And so this is a $9 billion fraud problem. These leering centers, they don't even spell learning right, are licensing 99 children receiving $4 million over 2 years. The doors are locked during business hours. There's no children visible, no playground equipment, and multiple centers everywhere. And where is the woke media? Where's ABC? Where's CNN? Where's NBC? Where's CBS? This is not being covered anywhere. It took a simple YouTuber with a camera. And by the way, Nick was, correct me if I'm wrong, Nick was acting totally polite. I mean, I would have been like, who the hell do you think you are? I'm an American citizen. You're cheating me. Why are you acting this way? Why are you treating? I would have been, woo, Nelly. I would have been a lot more abrasive. Nick was calm quiet, composed, polite, overly polite in my estimation. And they treated him like he was a parasite. Why? Why did they treat him that way? A YouTuber with a camera doing the job of what the media, and you've got that talentless hack, that insidious swamp snake, Jimmy Kimmel, going on a foreign broadcasting station and denigrating the United States of America. While real journalists, the new media, are out there exposing the truth. Can you imagine how much money is Jimmy Kimmel making a year? How much money of public funding are these broadcasting stations that promote this propaganda getting year after year, when it's people like Nick Shirley who should be getting funded for public broadcasting funds, because he's actually doing the work, just like we're doing here.
How deep is this fraud here inside of Minnesota?
It is far worse than anybody can imagine. You heard it's 7 to 10 billion and maybe more, and now the numbers have been revised and put out there publicly that they think it's more like 8 billion. How I got involved is that where my office is here in Minneapolis, I'm sort of in the heart of all of this fraud, and I would see these child care centers. I said, well, there aren't any kids there. It's the middle of the day, and all I see are a couple of guys standing out front smoking. And then I'd go by another daycare and I'd see the same thing. I said, well, where do these kids play? And so I started to go online and look, and I said, this place is licensed for 80 children. They had 0 children. Every time I went by there, they never had a single child there. Then I started to see all these transportation companies going around, and it was always a Somali driver. And I said, well, that's great. They're out there transportation, contributing, but they never had a passenger, never, ever once. And I said, well, what is all this transportation? What are they doing? So then I found out that in Minnesota, they have something called non-emergency medical transportation. So this is going to the dentist's office, therapy, whatever it might be. And I said, well, how many of these companies are there? And the research came back that there are 1,020 of them, and more than 800 of them are Somali-owned. Nobody from the state of Minnesota ever cross-checks to see if any rides were ever actually provided. All they did was write the check.
I guess it's up to us to do the work of the so-called mainstream journalists, real journalists that are out there. God bless you, Nick Shirley. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Should Tampon Tim Walz resign effective immediately? Give me a Y if you think Y, yes. Give me a capital N if you think no. And tell me why you think no. I think this is all happening under his watch. I think he knew about it. I think he facilitated it. This is a major, major crime, and I hope he gets prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. If you love America and you want to see more videos like this, we're trying to make common sense go viral. Tap that thumbs up. It doesn't cost you a thing. You can even do it with your remote if you're watching this on TV. Share this with everybody. Share this all over the world, for crying out loud. Share it in text messages with your family, friends. Nobody's covering this. No network. We need to get the truth out there. Thank you so much. Check out these videos coming up right here on the screen. This one right here is the one you should watch next. I just posted it. Tap my face right here to subscribe and follow. It's absolutely free. And as always, may God bless you, and may God bless the USA and all who defend her. I'll see you soon.